Office of the Public Defender.
Your name?
Michael Smith?
All right, so you're here in 22 MM 172 AE on trespass on property after warning, carrying a concealed weapon and loitering or prowling. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll set your bond at 100 on count 1, 500 on count 2, and 100 on count 3.
Okay.
Your Honor, no
This
return.
Vaughn is medical.
No return to the scene. I'm sorry, Vaughn?
Yeah, Vaughn is medical.
All right, 22 MM 4984AO, waiver roll.
Denise,
You said waive?
yeah, no, can we roll to?
Medical.
Okay, then waive.
All right. All right.
I got that.
Stay the bond at 500. No return to the scene. Your name, ma'am?
Amira Riley.
All right, 22 MM 317 AA, one count of battery, review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bond, no contact with the alleged victim.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Your name, sir? 22 MO 857 AO, disorderly conduct, reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause.
Your Honor, there was an offer
All right,
of a withhold credit time served. Was it to resolve the case today?
all right. I'll set your bond at 100. You want to take the offer or walk out of here with your bond?
I'll take the offer.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Your name and date of birth?
Keith Meisenberg, 1990.
All right. You understand by resolving this case, we're not going to have a trial?
Yes, sir.
All right. Guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea. You says a withhold?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Sentence you to 2 with credit for 2, and I'll reduce your cost to a judgment. I'll give you a year to pay. We already do all the paperwork for everybody? Yeah. All right. Give you a year to pay. 30 days to appeal. Good luck.
Huh? 30 days for what?
To
To appeal
if
this
you want.
sentence.
My girl.
Your name, sir?
Gary Moody.
22 MO 858 AO, open container. Set your bond at 100. Appoint the PD. Do we have an offer?
Yes, a withhold credit time served. And he would like to accept an answer, please, no
All
contest.
right. All right, sir, can you raise your right hand for me? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then your name and date of birth?
1970, Gary Moody.
All right, guilty or no contest?
Yes, sir. I'm guilty.
All right, accept your guilty plea. Withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days of credit for 2 days. I'll give you a year to pay, 30 days to appeal. Good luck.
So what?
Yep. Thank you. Your name, sir?
Kerry Pure, medical.
Can we,
Here is medical, 22 MO 859, waiver roll.
can we waive, can we roll until tomorrow, Your
All
Honor?
right,
Jim Roger, mental health.
22 MO 860 AO, waiver roll.
Roll, Your Honor.
All right,
Vaughn and Felix bonded.
Ebony Felix bonded, okay. Your name, sir?
Jonathan Sullivan.
All right, 22 CT 4158 AO DUI with property damage or personal injury. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bond.
Brenda.
Thank you. Your name?
Kyle Donaldson.
All right, sir, you're out on bond on a possession of fentanyl, 22 CF 8653 AO. I'm sorry, 22 CF 4130AO, you're here in the 8653, fraudulent use of personal identification, fraudulent use of credit card by arrest warrant. Sir, according to your financial affidavit, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney in this matter?
Hire a private attorney.
All right. On your new case here, according to this warrant, your bond's set at $5,000 on count one, $2,000 on count two. I'll reduce count two to $150 state count one. And what's the status of the case that he's out on bond?
He was arrested April 12th. State has not filed formal charges at this time.
All right, I'll take no action on the case that you're out on bond. Thank you.
Michael Flower, refuse.
All right, 22 CF 8631AO, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, via arrest warrant, $1,000 on the first case, and then he also has 22 CF 8631 via arrest warrant on that case. It's also set at $1,000, and he's got a third one, 8633, stay that bond at $1,000. All right. What's your name, sir?
Terrence Timothy Gary.
Oh,
Yeah, he
does,
only
you're
had
right,
two,
it's
Your Honor.
He had two. Huh?
Terrence Timothy Gary.
What's up? Okay, all right. Sir, you're out on bond on a driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge, 22 CT 2214. You're here today in 22 CF 8673AO, possession of cocaine. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. I'll stay your bond at $1,000. Say what's the status of the case that he's out on bond.
There was a status hearing yesterday, Your Honor. I apologize, just from my brief look, I couldn't tell if it had been filed on or not. I
Now,
apologize.
it's a misdemeanor traffic, so isn't the citation usually what they go off?
Usually, so then, yes.
All right, I'll revoke your release in that case, set a new bond of $2,000.
And I'm not sure, it was showing like there was, did you see an attorney appointed?
I didn't look. I never look.
Could we be appointed on the out on bond? Do you have an attorney?
Right, because I was.
So that, he has an attorney?
You got a lawyer on that case?
No, 'cause all I had to do was present my license, and yesterday I went to court, and all I had to do was go downstairs and do my last, just do the reserving piece. So I'm already done with that case. And I got grandkids at home, I left last night with the neighbors. So,
You know, court date coming up? Yeah, he's got another hearing on September 18th on that case.
right, and I just have to show the license, then, go downstairs.
Okay, all right, well, I'll give you a bond on that case.
Another bond?
Yeah, I revoked your release. When you're out on bond, you can't commit new crimes.
Right, and
I could have revoked it and kept it at 0, but I just put it at the minimum under the admin order.
I get it a little lower than that, just so I can have.
Put it at the minimum that I could.
Like another $1,000.
Minimum means minimum. Like the minimum requirements of when you're out on bond is don't commit new law offenses, minimum.
Jose Gonzalez is medical.
22 CF 8663 waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Jose Gonzalez.
No, Your Honor.
All right, any input from the defense?
Only that you consider the fact that he has no history, Your Honor.
All right, review the affidavit, found probable cause, temporarily appoint, and I'll set it at $3,500 or $2,500. No contact with the alleged victim. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. All right, your name, ma'am?
Destiny Harper.
All right, 22 CF 8524AO, aggravated battery on a pregnant person and one kind of aggravated stalking with a credible threat via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, your bond set at $5,000 on count one, $250 on count two with no contact with the alleged victim. I'll appoint the office of the public defender. I'll stay count one and I'll reduce count two to $100. Your name, sir?
Corbin James.
What happened? Is this our John Doe?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You're here in 22 CF 8648AO on one count of battery on a law enforcement officer, one count of resisting officer out of violence. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. I'll set count one at $2,500 and count two at $100.
That's my bill.
Your name,
Kareem,
your last name?
Darquin,
All right, 22 CF 8676AO, possession of cannabis greater than 20 and possession of drug paraphernalia. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. I'll state count 1 and reduce count 2 to 100. He's also got a hold. Yeah, all right. Your name?
James Lamb.
22 CF 8671AO, possession of cocaine, possession of MDMA. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. I'll stay your bond on count 1, reduce count 2 to 150. And then you have 21 CF 3814AO, 2 failure to appear as your bond on those is set at no bond. For failure to appear for a status hearing on 11/9 of last year, I'll appoint the public defender if they haven't already been appointed on that case. Your name, sir?
Kevin Love,
22 CF 4632AO, fleeing and eluding via arrest warrant. Appoint the public defender. Any input from the state?
I apologize, Your Honor. Who is this?
Kevin Love, fleeing and eluding, no bond to be set at IA.
I don't have that case.
Is that your name?
yes, sir.
I don't have that one.
Um,
I have no input.
I just asked that you set a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
He exists.
It's right.
You want it?
Markel Luke.
All right, he's on probation for, okay. All right, I'll set your bond at $7,500. Thank you.
Sorry.
75.
Here you go.
Your name, sir?
Markel Luke.
22 CF 8133AO, attempted felony murder and robbery via arrest warrant. According to this, your bond set at no bond on count 1 and $5,000 on count 2. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. State any input.
He is entitled to a bond on count 2, which he has. Count 1, I believe because it's sub 2, he is also entitled to a bond. It's just a first-degree felony if it's sub 2.
I have 051-2.
Then he's entitled to a bond, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would ask that you consider the fact that he has a very limited criminal history. I only see an arrest for resisting without violence. Other than that, he has no criminal history.
So 18.
Yeah.
How old are you, sir?
Yes,
18?
sir.
All right, I'll set your bond at 15,000 on count 1, and I'll state count 2. No contact with the alleged victim. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons.
Yeah.
Your name?
John Randall.
22 CF 8647AO, possession of amphetamine. I'll stay your bond, appoint the public defender, found probable cause.
That's your bond. That's it.
Your name, sir?
Brian Reynolds.
All right, out on bond, possession of cocaine, cannabis, and paraphernalia, 22 CF 6081AO, you're here today, and 22 CF 8677AO. Grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, I'll set your bond at $2,500. State what's the status of the case that he's out on bond.
He was arrested May 27th. State has not filed formal charges at this time.
All right, I'll take no action on that case. 2,500. All right, your name, sir?
Rodriguez.
All right, 22 CF 6029 AO, burglary of a dwelling, grand theft of a dwelling, $100 or more, less than 750, criminal mischief, less than or equal to 200 via arrest warrant. According to this, your bond set at 5,000 on count 1. I'll reduce count 2 to $150 and count 3 to $150, and I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. No return to the scene.
James Ryder refused, Your Honor.
All right,
How much was his bond?
state count 1, I reduce count 2 and 3 to 150.
In
And no return to the scene. All right. 22 CF 8664 AO, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, and I'll stay the bonds on Rogers.
Cynthia Mons, bonded.
All right,
Matthew Sander refused.
all right, 22 CF 1955 AO, failure to appear, and then 22 CF 8669 AO, possession of fentanyl, possession of drug paraphernalia. Temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, on the failure to appear, the bond set at no bond, and then on the new case, review the affidavit, found probable cause, I'll stay count 1, reduce count 2 to 100. All right, your name, sir?
Roderick Wheeler.
All right, 22 CF 8655 AO, larceny, grand theft, greater than 750, less than 5,000. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bond.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was the bond amount? I don't have it.
2,500, I believe.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, your name?
Ashley White.
All right, out on bond 21 CF 14352 AO, scheme to defraud, grand theft, third degree. Out on bond 22 CF 5384 AO, grand theft, third degree. Out on bond 22 CT 743 AO, Duelis. Here today, 22 CF 8679 AO, false ID given to a law enforcement officer carrying a concealed firearm. And 22 CF 995 AO, Duelis as a habitual traffic offender. Review those affidavits, found probable cause, point the public defender. I'll stay your bonds on all your counts. What's the status of the cases that he's out on bond?
One moment, Your Honor, I apologize.
Let me get these back in order for you.
No, you filed on 2021 CF 14352 AO. That's been filed.
Your Honor, with regard to 21 CF 14352, that has been filed on.
The other one's from a couple days, last week, 2 weeks ago.
I'm gonna go with,
It has been filed.
It has? All right, I'll revoke your release in all those cases. Let the judge assign to those cases determine what a reasonable bond is for you.
Just,
and you stay the bond on his new cases, correct? Thank you, Your Honor.
What time is it? I said that's a minute. Give me a minute to finish up these things.
Okay, all right.
please, thank
Anything else from the state?
Nothing from the state.
Defense?
Nothing from
All
defense.
right,
Your Honor.
thank you. All right, sir, your name
Hall.
and your first name, Hall?
Charlie Hall.
All right, you're here in 22 CJ 1049 AO. One count of kidnapping with intent to inflict harm, terror with a weapon, one count of written record threat of a mass shooting or act of terror, one count of written threats to kill or do bodily harm, one count of transmission of child porn through an electronic device, one count of aggravated stalking with a credible threat. This is via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, bond, it's actually a pickup order, isn't it? Yeah, you got this pickup order. I'll appoint the office of the public defender. There's also a motion from the state for pretrial detention. State, what do you want to tell me?
Your Honor, based on the offenses that he admitted to the offense, the allegations within threatening the victim, kidnapping a child, well, attempting to kidnap a child, and also threatening officers, based on that, we would ask that he be held no bond. Per the statute, a hearing can be held within 5 days.
All right. Anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor, as long as the hearing is set.
All right, we'll go ahead and grant the motion, set it at no bond. We gotta transfer him over to juvenile, right?
No, he's from juvenile.
Oh, they brought him over here.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, thank you,
so the bond set at none, his
None.
other, what about his other count?
all of them.
All of them none?
Yeah, they granted the motion for pretrial detention and they'll set a hearing.
Attorney's gonna meet.
So do I have to write it on here?
On which part?
Grant the motion for pretrial?
Yep.
Oh, I do?
Please. Motion for pretrial detention grant. Your name, sir? Oh, Spanish? All right. You know, if we wanted to save trees, we could do these two-sided.
What happened?
If you wanted to
No.
save trees, you could do double-sided.
No.
So if we could do that moving forward.
Okay.
You want to put on here to be safe within 5 days?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Laura Bretaño, Spanish interpreter. Previously
Good morning.
sworn.
I'm sorry, have you been sworn?
Yes, I have been sworn, Your
All right, just let me know when you made contact with the headphones.
Sí.
There is contact, Your Honor.
All right, your name, sir?
Arturo Navarro. Arturo Navarro. Arturo Navarro, Navarro, perdón.
Arturo Navarro.
You're
Sí, señor.
here in case number 22MM4993. One count of possession of drug paraphernalia.
Honor?
Yes?
At this time, with regard to 22 MM 4993, possession of drug paraphernalia, the state announces a no information.
All right, so the state no infoed your case. You'll be released today as long as there's no other holds.
Ok, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
Trinidad Leiva Cuagua.
Trinidad Leiva Cuava.
Sí,
You
señor.
are out on bond, case number 22MM76AO, petty theft of $100 or more. You were here today in 22CF8674, burglary of an unoccupied structure. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. You're also here in 22CF8675AO, burglary of an unoccupied structure. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. You're also here in 22MM319AA and 318AA, damage to property, criminal mischief on each. Regards to the felonies, I'll stay your bonds at $5,000 on each. On your misdemeanors, I'll reduce each of those to $100, with the condition no return to the scene, and state what's the status of the case that he's out on bond.
It's been filed.
Filed, Your Honor.
All right. Vote your release in that case. Let the judge assign to that case determine what a reasonable bond is for you.
Can you appoint us on the out on bond as well, Your Honor?
Not on that case?
He doesn't have any attorney on that
All
one.
right, we'll appoint the public defender to represent you on that case as well. Thank you. Your name, sir?
Andrés López de la Cruz.
Andres Lopez de la Cruz.
You are here in case number 22CF8678AO, one count of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender, and I'll stay your bond at 1,000 on count 1. Count 2 I'll reduce to 100. You also have a hold out of Lake County. Looks like a violation of probation or DUI case. So even if you post these bonds, you'll likely get transported to Lake County, okay? Thank you. All right, Naomi Sanchez, 22 CF 8666AO. Did we roll that one from yesterday? Possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia? No, temporarily appoint the PD. What do you want to do?
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, Sanchez, I'll set count 1 at 500 and count 2 at 100.
I'm sorry, and I apologize.
Your name, sir?
Nicolás Chiquival Vázquez.
Nicolás Chiquial Vázquez.
You were here in case number 2022 CF 8670AO, 1 count of aggravated stalking with a credible threat and 1 count of battery. I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, I will appoint the public defender to represent you, and I'll stay your bond on count 1 at $3,500. Count 2, I'll reduce to $100. With conditions, no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Thank you. That was all the Spanish? All right. Madam Interpreter, could you ask if anyone needs the services of the Spanish interpreter? Please raise their hand.
Si alguna de las personas que se encuentra aquí presente necesita los servicios del intérprete al español, por favor, levante la mano.
All right, no hands raised. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good one. All right, your name, sir?
Brian.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
I'm sorry, I cut you out with that. What is it?
Brian Keith.
You are the only participant.
All right, Mr. Keith, 2022 CF 8651AO, grand theft, 3rd degree of a motor vehicle via arrest warrant. According to this, your bond is set at $1,000. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Public defender's fine.
All right, do you have a job?
Just here at the jail.
I'm sorry?
That's what I'm doing right now in the jail.
Okay, all right. Any legal sources of income?
No.
All right, I'll go ahead, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Your name, sir?
Earl Tabor. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, you're here in 2022 CF 86270, 1 count of larceny, $750 or more via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, your bond set at $750. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Represent myself.
Okay, all right, do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
State the bond.
State it.
What's that?
Sorry?
Pro se?
Pro se?
You said no return to the scene. Did you tell them that?
Are we doing Mr. Fisher's case or the arraignments? Is this guy ready? Yeah, all right. You guys work anything out? No?
So what we doing?
It's,
Oh, nooner.
yeah.
What is it?
It's a
Who
DV?
is it?
So the 3rd or 4th one down. All right, sir, your name?
Speak out loud, loud.
Paul Nooner.
All right, sir, give me one quick second. We brought you up a few cases. There you go. All right. You're here today in 2022 CF 1204AO, 1 count of aggravated stalking after an injunction, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 21 counts of violation of a domestic injunction with a motor vehicle via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond on all counts until seen by a judge. That's me today, apparently. You also have 2021 MM89AE violation of condition of pretrial release. On that warrant, your bond is set at no bond. State any contact with the alleged victim? Well, one's the one who's
It appears that contact was made and she will not be attending, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Any input from the defense?
Your Honor, I filed a motion addressing Mr. Nooner's substantial ties to the community. Further, that he surrendered himself on the outstanding warrant. I believe it was yesterday morning around 10:30. He has established a residence in another county within the state of Florida in Pinellas County, St. Petersburg. I am asking the court to release him into the pretrial release program. If you look at the allegations as well, Judge, they are that he had contact with his ex-wife, I think that ended sometime in 2021, over 7 months ago, with the exception of Mr. Nooner contacted her, his ex-wife's Maryland family law lawyer, to get directions on where to send a mortgage payment for the month of January. And he made a public records demand permitted by statute of her employer as it relates to her phone records, so as to prepare some type of defense for himself. He is willing to surrender his passport if that's a concern of anybody, although he's got substantial ties. He's willing to not return to Orange County without the approval of the pretrial release supervisor. I have some appellate court opinions, which I know this court is aware of because I provided them to you before, showing that bonds for capital sexual battery and lewd and lascivious should have been reset as directed by the appellate court at $7,500 and $1,000, both of which are much more serious than the charges facing Mr. Nooner, which is why I'm suggesting pretrial release. Thank you, Judge.
All right, he doesn't qualify for pretrial release under the administrative order. I reviewed the affidavit in support of the arrest warrant. Count one, I'll set at $3,500, and then each additional count at the subsidiary of $100. And no contact, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. I'm not worried about a passport. All right.
What about with respect to the other case number, Your Honor?
The case that Judge Shoemaker revoked his bond and set it at no bond.
Yes, sir.
All right, State, what do you want to tell me about that?
He's entitled to a bond, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set his bond at $5,000 on that. All original conditions with pretrial release apply, okay?
Thank you, Judge. Thanks for accommodating us.
Other cases said it.
5,000. All original conditions.
Today's date next to it. I guess not.
Your name, sir? So, we're not doing the arraignment.
Morales Medical.
Which one?
Pagan Morales.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
We're doing what?
2022 CT
Wait, what are we
3498AO,
I'm
PD
not
arraignment
ready
waiver
for
roll.
Can we do the second
we-
session first?
Yeah, because I don't,
Arraignments.
That's usually a second session.
He's very efficient.
We're doing that.
I usually do what's called and put in front of me.
can we do domestic violence first, Your Honor, before we do the arraignments? 'Cause I
Because we
need to-
have victims.
I understand. Listen, I don't call the shots. They put a in front of me, I just read it. You want it back?
Yeah, because
Put somebody in front of me? Let's
Yeah,
just do
because-
this guy is here right now. Waiver roll. No valid.
Oh, I will waive, Your Honor, and enter a plea of, not guilty.
All right.
I apologize.
Doesn't have the division written on
It's Pagan
it.
Morales.
Division 81.
Well, you have two cases. Correct?
They're both Division 81.
Yeah, both cases you heard Division 81, pretrial is August the 12th at 9 a.m.
Is that,
From 6B.
That's Pagan Morales.
right, so I need to be able to look at that pleadings.
All right, and what's your name, sir?
See,
Johnson Williams Medical.
Okay.
I will, waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your
All
Honor.
right, 22 MM 4201, Division 62.
Pretrial is September the 12th. Let's see, September the 12th.
8:30. Oh, and that's trial period.
Who's coming? Okay,
Put it on for 9.
that helps, okay.
Yeah. All right. He's 9/12/22 at 9 a.m. with Judge Duckworth. All right, and then you're Thomas Jordan, 22 MM 4079 AO.
I will enter a plea of not guilty, Your
All
Honor.
right, 9/12/22 at 9 a.m. with Judge Duckworth.
There's no offer. The state's not making an offer.
Moreno Ortiz is medical also, Your Honor.
All right, 22 MM 352 AW. PD.
I will waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Division 81 pretrial is August the 12th at 9 a.m. Courtroom 6B.
What's your name, sir? All right, 22 MM 4175 AO. PD resisting, 63. He's got 35 days in.
The offer was an adjudication and credit time served, Your Honor.
You want to take a credit time served offer today?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, and then your name and date of birth?
Henry Ventimilla,
All right, you understand by resolving this case today? What's your date of birth?
02/23/1989.
We're not going to have a trial or anything like that?
Nope.
All right, you pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 35 with credit for 35. Your costs will give you a year to pay, okay? 30 days to appeal. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to DV. That gets us back on track.
Right.
Is that what I have next? Am I correct? Okay.
You is on it.
Your name, sir?
Densler Nicola refused, Your Honor.
All right, refused yesterday, 22 CO 896 AO, temporary point, waiver roll.
Will, waive, Your Honor.
All right, set his bond at 100. Louis Rosali, what's your name, sir?
Louis Rosley?
All right, 2022 CF 8619 AO, one count of first degree murder, one count of accessory after the fact, and one count of kidnapping via arrest warrant. Did you get a chance to review the warrant?
I did, Your Honor.
All right.
I just couldn't find it.
According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond as to each count, any, the public defender, any input from the state?
Your Honor, Count 1 is a life felony, so I'm asking he be held no bond. He does get a bond on 2 and 3, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
I would just ask that you set a bond on 2 and 3, Your Honor.
All right, I'll state count 1 at no bond, count 2 I'll set at $10,000, and count 3 at $150. No contact with any co-defendants or any witnesses. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. All right, sir, your name?
Michael Hedden.
Bob Fisher. All right, I'm sorry, you said Michael Hedden?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're here in 22 CF 8672 AO, one count of aggravated battery, and one count of battery domestic by strangulation. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender, any contact with the alleged victim.
Your Honor, I was gonna argue no PC to the battery by strangulation.
All right, what do you want to tell me?
There is no restriction on the breathing, and there's no indication in the arrest affidavit that the victim could not breathe. It just says he placed both hands on her neck, but there's no indication that her breathing was restricted, which is a requirement to have for a battery by strangulation.
It says apply pressure on the throat or neck or block the nose or mouth, impeding the normal breathing or circulation of the lungs. So that's the risk to cause.
Ashley White.
And that's just kind of at the bottom. I don't know if that
It's
counts
a-
or not. State.
Generally, Your Honor, we do ask for more. We do generally ask for something more than pressure applied to the neck, because that can also be just a battery.
So what do you want? Are you asking for anything?
I am asking that you find PC for just domestic violence battery without the strangulation, Your Honor.
All right. And what's that statute?
I believe it is 784.043, but if you give me a moment to confirm that.
All right. It's 784.03-10.
Thank you.
I'm just looking at the misdemeanor affidavits. That,
Thank you, Your Honor.
PC as, so is, count one, PC on count one and count two, PC to the misdemeanor battery only?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, 784.03-10. All right, you know that one? All right. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set count one at $3,500, count two at $100, no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay?
Did you need a one-time return?
What's that?
Oh, and Your Honor, could he have a one-time return with law enforcement?
Yes.
To gather any belongings,
Thank
okay?
you. I really appreciate it.
All right, your name?
Leon Sergeant.
All right, you're here in 2022 CF 8668 AO, one count of aggravated assault domestic and one count of battery domestic. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, any contact with the alleged victim. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor, and no contact with the victim.
Any input from the defense?
Okay.
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set count one at $3,500, count two at $100, no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. All right, sir, your name?
Wesley Smith.
All right, sir, you have a couple cases, I believe. 2022 CF 7880 AO. It's a battery domestic with one prior battery. That's via arrest warrant. According to this, your bond set at $1,000 with no contact with the victim, Mark. And you're also here in 22 CF 8350 AO. One count of battery domestic, one count of criminal mischief, and one count of petty theft. According to that, your bond is set at no bond on count one, $1,500 on count two, and $150 on count three with no contact with the alleged victim. Sir, according to your financial affidavit, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. The public defender is for individuals who are indigent that cannot afford a lawyer. The purpose of this morning's hearing is for me to essentially at this point determine conditions of release. Do you want to go forward today without a lawyer so I can give you bonds and conditions of release? Or, yeah, oh, I didn't even give you an alternative yet. Or do you want me to roll this 24 hours for you to hire a lawyer? You want to go today? All right. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense? All right.
No.
Let me say this, sir. On the first one, the judge on that one set your bond at $1,000 with conditions no contact with the alleged victim. I would add no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. On the second case, I would set your bond at $150 on count one, stay your bond of $1,500 on two, and $150 on three, with the same conditions. Is that acceptable, or is there anything that you want to tell me? That's acceptable? All right, thank you.
So no return to scene, no weapons, did you say maintain?
Separate residence, no contact. All right, thank you.
Did not qualify.
Your name, sir?
Renzo Bain.
All right, you've got three cases here. The first one is 2022 MM 4982 AO, one kind of battery dating violence. You also have 2020 CT 2961 AO, failure to appear on a DUI case. According to that failure to appear, your bond on that is set at $2,000, so that you failed to appear for pretrial conference. And you're also here in 2020 CT 2962 AO on a failure to appear on operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. That one, your bond is set at $1,000. On this new battery case, I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause. Sir, just like the gentleman before you, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. The public defender is for individuals that are indigent that cannot afford a lawyer. Were you paying attention when I had a conversation with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you have a couple of options. You can go forward today without a lawyer. I can roll this 24 hours. Do you want the 24 hours to hire a lawyer and have this hearing, or do you want to go forward today?
Could you explain it to me? Could you explain it?
So what we're going to do is we're going to determine conditions of your release, such as bond,
Okay.
and other conditions, whether or not contact is appropriate, not appropriate, if you should be precluded from doing anything, things of that nature. That's the hearing we're gonna do.
Okay, I'll take that one. If
You wanna-
if it means bond and going home today, then yeah, I'll take
All
that
right,
one.
so you wanna do the hearing today?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, ma'am, your name?
Alisar Khatib.
All right, ma'am, is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think the court should consider in determining conditions of his release?
Definitely. Honestly, it was a misunderstanding and it was blown out of the proportion. The cops lied to me about a lot of things. Stories didn't match up. I don't think he deserves to be here. He did not harm me in any way. They twisted my words. He didn't do anything to me. It's like they said the scratches was the probable cause, but they didn't know that he has two 85-pound terriers, and one of them was jumping on me. So it was dog scratches, and it's clearly dog scratches. It wasn't anything from him. So he's innocent. He didn't do any harm to me, and they kept telling me he was only being detained, not arrested, and then they ended up arresting him. And I didn't even call them to put him in trouble. I only called them because I couldn't find my keys, and I just felt like unsafe because it's not a safe area. So I called them for that. But like I said, it was blown out of proportion and they escalated it.
Do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Any input?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'm inclined to set your bond at $500 with conditions, no hostile contact. No hostile contact means no physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, and do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Is that acceptable to you, or is there anything that you want to tell me?
Yes, Your Honor, that's acceptable.
All right, thank you. Thank you for being here, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
500.
That's fine.
You have that. Sir. All right, your name
Timothy?
and your last name, Timothy?
Burgess.
All right, sir, you're here in 2022 MM 4991 AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, and will appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Ma'am, your name?
Nakia Neal.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Nakia Neal.
All right, ma'am, is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think the court should consider?
I just wanted my husband to get the help that he needed. I'm sick of the violence and I'm sick of the drug addiction and abuse. I've done nothing to this man except for be a good wife. He was just in here. It wasn't 2 days when he got out and repeated the same thing that placed him in here. He did this to himself, his decisions, his choices. I just wanted to be a good wife and stand by his side. And this is what you do to us? This is what you do after 29 years? I love you. You did this to yourself.
Ma'am, what day was he in here?
He just got out. He's been in here for like 2.5 months. He just got out July 18th.
So you resolved the case in here?
One case was time served, one case was no pros.
Gotcha, okay. All right. All right, State, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Spence, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Any
I don't
input,
want
State?
him to be in here. He did this.
Your Honor, based on the testimony and also the history, I would ask for no contact. And I would ask that you also take into consideration, based on the face sheet, there have been at least 3 other incidents of domestic violence.
I think it's 4, right? Is it 3 or 4? All right, any input from the defense? Fourth arrest.
I would just ask that he be allowed one-time return with law enforcement to gather his belongings.
All right, ma'am, so he is entitled to a bond in this case. A typical bond is $500. I'm gonna set his bond at $10,000, okay? So I'm gonna multiply it 20 times. With conditions, no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, do not possess any drugs or alcohol. Is it alcohol or drugs or both?
All.
All of it? Okay. All right, as a condition of your release, you'd be subjected to random UAs. An additional condition of your release would be that you have to attend in person one AA, NA, or DA meeting a day. If you miss a meeting, then you get picked okay? And you can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings.
Attend.
Thank you for being here, ma'am.
Attend in person.
Thank you.
AA, NA, or DA? Or DA,
Once a week, once
a day.
a day?
All right, your name, sir?
Robert Casillas.
All right, sir, 2022 MM 4989A01, kind of battery, domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. Sir, according to your financial affidavit, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. The public defender is for individuals who are indigent that cannot afford a lawyer. The purpose of this hearing at this point is to determine conditions of your release. You can either go forward today without a lawyer, and we can make those determinations, or I can roll this 24 hours for you to hire a lawyer. You can come back tomorrow and we can have this hearing, but understand that in the next 24 hours, you'll stay in jail. You want to go forward today without a lawyer, or tomorrow? Do you have any questions?
Go forward, sir.
All right, today?
Yes, sir.
All right. I have no contact with the victim. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, sir, so I'm inclined to set your bond at $500 with conditions: no contact with the alleged victim, do not return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Is that acceptable to you, or is there anything that you want to tell me that you think I should consider in determining conditions of your release?
That's good, sir. Thank
All right, thank you.
500.
500. Your name, sir?
Scott Dosher.
All right, sir, you're here in 2022 MM 4992A01, kind of battery, domestic violence. I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. Just like the gentleman before you, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. Were you listening when I explained it to him, what his options are? In the back, what's your name?
Mike Kikis?
All right, listen up, Mr. Kikis, because you're in the same position as this gentleman as well. Neither of you qualify for the public defender, okay? So, the purpose of the hearing is twofold. One, for me to review this affidavit, make a determination if there's probable cause or a valid reason for the arrest. And if I do make that determination, to then determine conditions of your release, such as bond, if you should have to post a bond or not have to post a bond, if so, how much, and other conditions such as contact, whether or not contact is appropriate, not appropriate, or some form of limited contact, whether or not you should be precluded from staying in the same house, anything. Everybody's case is different. So your options are, you can go forward today without a lawyer, and we can make those determinations, or I can roll this to tomorrow, give you 24 hours to hire a lawyer, but understand you'll stay in jail during those 24 hours, okay? Do you have any questions? What do you want to do?
I'm confused. I don't know.
I'm sorry?
Confused. I don't know.
All right, so if you're confused, you don't know, you still don't have any questions?
I don't need my own attorney.
You want to go forward today without a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. All right, any input from the state?
No, Your Honor, but I will note that he does qualify for pretrial release.
What's your position on that?
I have no objection.
All right, sir, so you have two options. Either I can set your bond at $500 with the conditions: no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Or I can release you on pretrial release where you don't have to post a bond. You'll have all the same conditions. The only difference is the pretrial release program will monitor you to make sure that you're compliant. So you can either post a bond and we're on the honor system, or no bond and you're monitored.
Pre-trial, I guess.
All right, you want to do the pretrial release?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you. All right, sir, you're here in 2022 MM 4994A01, kind of battery, domestic violence. Review that affidavit, found probable cause. What do you want to do? Do you want to go forward today without a lawyer, or you want me to roll it to tomorrow?
Without a lawyer.
All right, state, any input with regards to release?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'm inclined to set your bond at $500 with the same conditions as the last gentleman. No contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Is that, you don't qualify for a pretrial release. Is that acceptable, or is there anything that you want to tell me?
No, sir, that's acceptable.
All right, thank you. All right, ma'am, your name?
Josiah Ransburg.
All right, you're here in 2022 MM 4995A01, kind of battery, domestic violence. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
This is my first time doing this, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, hold on. The last name is Ransburg.
She make 2,500 a month. No, it's just her. She's not qualified.
All right, so, what's the gentleman's name in the back there? Ciliano, okay, never mind. All right, ma'am, so you actually did fill out a form asking for a public defender. You do not qualify for the services of the public defender. The public defender is for individuals who are indigent that cannot afford a lawyer.
Gotcha,
right?
okay.
So, here's what we're doing today. I'm gonna review this affidavit, it's the arrest affidavit that, makes the allegations as to what they say you did, right? So I have to review that and make a determination if there's probable cause or a valid reason, to arrest you. If I make that decision, and that's a very low standard, then we need to determine conditions of your release. What do you have to do to get out of jail, okay? So we can have that hearing today and make those determinations, or I can continue this to tomorrow, give you 24 hours to hire a lawyer, but you're gonna stay in jail during those 24 hours.
Can't afford that, I have.
Okay, so you wanna go forward today without a lawyer?
Sir.
All right, review the affidavit, found probable cause, any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
And she also qualifies for PTR, your position?
No objection.
All right, so you have a couple of options here, man. One of the options is you qualify for something called pretrial release, where I can release you without having to post a monetary bond. The conditions of that would be, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay? I can also give you a $250 bond, and with all the same conditions. So you can either post $250 and be on the honor system, make sure that you comply, or you don't have to pay any money. You'll be released on the pretrial release program, but they'll monitor you, make sure that you're compliant.
Okay, so when they say, if you don't mind, when they say, I'm new to this, this is
That's
my
fine.
first
I
charge.
know, I see your history.
What do they mean not returning to the scene? Because it is my residence that I live at. It's my apartment in my name.
Right. Who else lives there?
It's just me and my roommate. That's it.
Who's your roommate?
His name is Andrew Dixon. And he's not Nicholas St. Cyr. Like I said, he can't come back to my house.
All right, so what I'll let you do is you can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve any of your belongings. If law enforcement determines that the alleged victim doesn't live there, then you can stay there.
Yeah, well, I know he doesn't because they transferred him to Flagler County today.
Okay.
Yes.
So as long as they make that determination, then you're good, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, good luck.
So which one is it?
Oh, yeah.
Pretrial, I guess?
Okay. All right. There's no wrong answer. It's whatever you want.
Okay. Like I said, it's my first time, so I don't know what I'm doing.
So you got an out-of-state weapons conviction, right?
That was a very, very long time
Yeah,
ago.
about 15 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a no contact, maintain separate residence?
Yeah, no return, but she can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement. If they determine the victim doesn't live there, then she can stay. All right, your name?
Nicholas Siciliano.
All right, 2022 MM 171 AE, one count of battery, domestic. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any contact with the alleged victim? You got people out there? Made contact with victim, time, location, victim state, she'll not attend. Okay, any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set your bond at $250, no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Your name, sir? All right, sir, you're here in 2022 MM 430AW, one kind of battery, domestic, reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Does he have a hold for this battery case he's on probation for?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay. All right, set your bond at $750, no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Your name, sir?
Good morning, my name is Louis Ayers.
All right, sir, you're out on bond on a fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer with licensed sirens in 22 CF 6240AO. You're here today in 2022 MM 49860, one kind of battery, domestic violence. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
I would just ask that you take no action on the out on bond. He was arrested June 4th, and to date, no information has been filed, Your Honor.
All right,
Do I get a bond this time, pre-trial?
yeah, I'm gonna give you a bond. I'm just looking at your history right now.
Thank you.
All right, I'll set your bond at $500, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. On the case that you're out on bond, I'll take no action since the state hasn't made a decision.
Oh, and Your Honor, one-time return, they do reside together with law.
Return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings, okay? Your name, sir?
Anas Rajab.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Anas Faiz Rajab.
What happened to Adrian Forner Solas?
Beg your pardon?
They said Adrian. He said, what happened to Adrian?
Are you Adrian? No, Adrian's behind you.
That's where
I'm missing someone.
We have it as her first.
That's who?
Ooh.
His booking number.
Oh, I don't have it.
Honest Al.
AL.
He bonded. He was ROR.
ROR, see you later.
Well, then, you go home.
All right, your name?
Adrian Fernandez.
All right, you're out on bond on a petty theft, 22 MM 4615 AO. Here today on an out-of-county warrant on a petty theft out of Osceola. According to that, your bond is set at $500. You failed to appear for arraignment. I'll take no action on the case that you're out on bond. All right, Osceola County has 24 hours to come pick you up starting now. Do you have any questions?
So, yeah, they're gonna pick me up to go over there?
Yes.
Well, okay, so they said I failure to appear. I was never notified that I had to appear. They never called my phone, and I don't have no.
Don't.
Okay. I don't know anything about it, other than it's a warrant out of county, and I'm telling you about that warrant out of county, and you go over there and talk to them about it, okay?
Okay, so tomorrow, today, when they're gonna pick me up?
Today or tomorrow, or you can pay $500 and get out.
No action, Your Honor, you said?
No action on the case out on bond. Your name?
Beverly Glenn.
What is it? Let's see. You're here on a failure to appear on a bond out of Osceola County. According to this, your bond is on 21 CF 3368 AO. Your bond on that is set at no bond. Osceola County has 24 hours to come pick you up starting now. Do you have any questions?
I just got out of the hospital for open heart surgery. I need my medicine, and
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you, ma'am.
I just got out of the hospital for open heart surgery, and I have medicine that I have to take.
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. They can see what they can do to get you that medicine, okay? All right.
Juan Hernandez, DOT to Osceola.
The next one I have is Precious Royal,
Royal is medical, Your Honor.
22 CF 1461 AO, 2 out-of-county warrants, waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, 22 CF 1461, and these are Lake County. Bond is set at $2,000 on each for a total of 4. Desir, Nicholas Desir, is that you? St. Cyr, I'm sorry. 22 MM 278 AO out-of-county warrant. Out of Flagler County, according to this, failed to appear for a petty theft. Your bond on that is set at $500. Flagler County has 72 hours to come pick you up starting now. Do you have any questions?
Do they come sooner than that? 'Cause I just want to get.
Oh, they could come right now, but they just have up to that time. Everybody thinks that they come on the 72nd hour. But they can come today, they can come tomorrow.
He didn't need to come.
All depends.
I know, they
All
took
right.
him out already.
All right, good luck.
My pressure is kind of high right now.
I'm sorry?
My pressure is kind of high.
Blood pressure's high. Mine gets high too. Just
Look,
relax.
his things are.
You're all right, okay?
Okay.
If you need anything, we'll help you out.
All right, thank you.
All right. Your name?
Jonathan Burgos.
All right, sir, you're here in 19 CF 17616AO on a violation of probation on one count of criminal mischief. According to this violation of probation, your bond is set at no bond. Sir, according to your financial affidavit, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. You make more money than the public defender, so you gotta hire your own lawyer, okay? All right. Do you have any questions?
When can I get, when can I see the VOP, court?
On Tuesdays or Saturdays?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Okay. All right, your name, sir?
Dakota Chavez, 03/24/2000.
What happened to Christian Oliver? 2020 CF 505AO, VOP. Okay, all right, so I'll just switch them. All right, you said Dakota Chavez?
Sir.
All right, 21 CF 8701AO, violation of probation, ag assault with a deadly weapon. According to this, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
I asked a question.
Hold on, your lawyer might,
Just yeah.
You have two for him, too?
It's two different case
I
numbers.
have two different case numbers.
Okay, but thank you. Could you please?
all right, in the back, what's your name? Oh, all right, we're good. All right, your name?
Christian Oliver.
2020 CF 505AO, VOP. According to this, sir, you have a violation of probation on one count of burglary of an occupied structure out of Orange County. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Right now, a public defender.
Do you have a job?
No.
Any sources of income, Oliver? Oh, hold on.
Support from family.
He does or does not?
He does.
All right, we'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you.
Oh, I'm fine.
Your name, sir?
Nico Polly St. Pierre.
All right, so you have two cases. The first one is 22 CF 15225AO, violation of probation on two counts of child abuse, one count of pawnbroker, and one count of trafficking and stolen property. You're here today in 22 432AW carrying a concealed weapon. Reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause, appointed the public defender. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? I'm sorry. Never mind. You did fill it out. I'll appoint the public defender on both your cases. I'll stay your bond at 1,000, and then on your VOP, your bond set at no bond. Your name?
Jerian Smith.
All right, 2020 CF 6219AO, VOP on a fleeing and eluding. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your name?
Hi, Javia Hampton.
All right, you're here in 21 7935AO on a violation of probation on a repeat of domestic violence and foreign protection order. According to this, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. In the back, your name? Your name?
Daquan Maurice Sicard.
All right, you're here at 21 CT 968AE on a violation of probation on a DUI. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
I have a private attorney.
All right, who's your lawyer?
Matthew Oslowski.
Okay, all right, let Mr. Oshetsky know that you're here, okay? All right, thank you.
So you wanna do the 33-day notice now, or?
Are we ready to do the 33s, or do we want to take a break first?
No, we can do the 33, Your Honor.
DD?
I know that, but we're now on Alfredo Augusta.
The additional case is 2017 CF 1958.
Okay. So these are both out-of-county warrants, as I understand it. One of them's burg dwelling and the other one's a grand theft. No, I'm sorry. One has got burg dwelling and pet grand theft, and the second one has burglary of an occupied dwelling and criminal mischief. Sir, you're considered anti-murder. You're not going to get a bond. I'll appoint the public defenders. Do I need to appoint him here or wait till he gets the other county?
Excuse me, this is the county that I was transferred from Hillsborough County. That's why I was an out-of-county warrant.
Oh.
He brought me here to Osceola County. I got here on 2 days ago.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for letting me know. I was misreading what was going on. So this is the county. I do need to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm assuming that they'll set you down on the docket for an arraignment on a violation of probation or community control, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Your Honor, he wanted me to convey to the court that he had a 2-year probation and he had 3 months left. He had a technicality of not paying the court fees, and currently he's a 1099 contractor, works for himself, and he has a mother who's ill with cancer. And he's-
He doesn't, ma'am, to cut you, I'm going to flat cut you out. He's anti-murder. He won't get a bond no matter what the excuses or circumstances are. According to this, the allegations are that he violated his community control by testing positive. So 3 months left isn't going to help him. And there's nothing much I can do about it, except point the public defender and let him know that, do we actually give him arraignment dates on VOPs?
Your Honor, for 2014 CF 1639 and 2017 CF 1958, he has a VOP arraignment on August 2nd, 9 a.m., courtroom 5A.
Okay, so I'll appoint a public defender. Hopefully they'll come talk to you before that date. All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks. Do you want me to call him or you want to call him? I don't care. You can call him.
Next case, Matthew Craig, 21 CT 3048.
It's hard for us to hear, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
I don't know that I can adjust the volume here. Is there some way you can adjust the volume there?
We can hear you, we just can't hear the clerk.
Oh, okay. We can fix that, I think. Or I can do the calling. So we called Jesse Matthew Craig. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Mr. Craig, it looks like you were arrested on a warrant for violating probation by getting a new law offense, I think, if I'm reading this right. DUI, fleeing and attempting to elude.
Yes, ma'am, I've done the time on that already, and I've had a hold for Osceola County for 30 days now, ma'am.
So you were being held in another county?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is our out-of-county warrant brought you down here.
Yes, ma'am.
Does he have a bond on this? Zero bond.
Yeah, I've got 2 twins I was hoping to go back to, babies. I've been in jail on a hold for 30 days.
Okay, hold on. Stay, what's he on probation for?
Your Honor, DUI.
And he's being charged with a new law offense of DUI?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it looks like,
And additionally, fleeing, according to the warrant, fleeing or attempting to elude, resisting without violence, and driving on the DUI suspension.
okay. So, sir, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office, and he has an arraignment date. If you'll tell me what it is, I'll announce it so they can hear it.
VOP arraignment August 4th at 8:05 a.m., courtroom 5B.
Okay, I'm not going to change the bond. Your attorney can do that for you. They can ask to have it heard by a judge. I'll appoint the public defender. Thank you. You want to do Lucius Leonard? Is that good?
Lucius Leonard III, case 22 CT 1697.
Mr. Leonard, you're being picked up on a warrant. It looks like the bond's already set at $5,000.
Is it possible we can lower that?
I won't do it. It's somebody else's bond, somebody else's warrant. So no, I won't do it. You might convince the judge that issued that warrant to do it, but I'm a substitute judge. I wouldn't do it. I'll appoint the public defender. Here's your next court date.
If still in jail, 8/4 at 8:05 a.m., courtroom 5B. If out of jail, 8/12 at 9 a.m., courtroom 4A.
Thank you. Next case is Melissa Wimmer, W-I-M-E-R.
Case number 21 CF 0316.
Ms. Wimmer, you're being charged with violating your probation. It looks like you've got a new law offense out of another jurisdiction, I think Polk County. This is a warrant that was issued by Judge Karsten. I will not touch his bond. You're at no bond, or Judge Young. So here's your next court date. I'll appoint the public defender.
Next court date, July 28th, 8:30 a.m., courtroom 4F.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
James Bronson. I almost said Judge Bronson.
Case number
It's a Freudian
22
slip.
CF 2142.
Sir, you've been arrested on an arrest warrant out of this county. Another judge determined probable cause and set bond at none. It's for fleeing and eluding. So this is a new law offense, correct? All right, I'm going to leave it at none. Appoint the public defender. Here's your, do we give him an arraignment date for a new law?
Future court date on demand.
Really? All right, PD, you all are appointed. Thank you. The next one I have is Laurentia Mario Ketty Bessler. I probably massacred all those names.
There's two cases on this defendant.
Okay.
20 CF 1044, 21 CF 201.
Hello. So it looks like you're being charged with violating your probation by absconding or changing your residence without permission. That's violates condition 3. Violating the special condition of not completing your outpatient treatment. Violating conditions 9, 12, 13, and 11 by failing to remain in your confined residence before or after working. Let's see. So I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. Can that be considered the arraignment and just set it for status?
It has a VOP status hearing on August 30th at 9 a.m. courtroom 5F.
And that's for both cases, right?
Correct.
Perfect. All right. Public defender represents you, and you'll see the judge on that date. Thank you. Then I have Wafa Chagaru. Okay.
Case 22 MM 1673.
All right. And I understand the victim is present. Is there any testimony you want to give at this time? Have you talked with the state attorney?
We spoke briefly, Your Honor. We didn't talk about if he wanted to testify or not. I didn't ask him that.
Okay.
But I got the relevant information he wanted to convey.
Okay, if you want to go ahead and tell me.
He proffered that he does not want any contact at all
Okay.
with the defendant.
Okay.
He also does not want her to return to the home or to his place of business that he owns, which is Aroma Hookah on West Erlo Bronson. She had threatened to go there as well, and he does not want that. The factor that makes this complicated is they have a 1-month-old child, who is, based on what the victim has stated, is nursing, and he's concerned that the baby obviously get proper nutrition. So that's the complicating factor to this situation.
Okay. So what's the state suggest?
The state would suggest that the defendant be released on pretrial release, if that's an option, or a minimal bond, so that she can be released to feed the baby. But for the court to instruct the defendant not to have any direct contact with the victim, that any contact has to be made through a mutually agreeable third party.
Where's the baby now?
The victim said it's with his mom.
Okay.
Sorry, I withdraw that.
All right. Would pretrial release accept her?
She qualifies for bond with pretrial release, not direct pretrial release.
Your Honor, if I may.
Sure.
From what I understand, she has no prior criminal history, and she is a new mother, a nursing mother, and so we would request that she be released on ROR. She has somewhere to stay that is not with the alleged victims. I have talked to her in detail, everyone here, about what no contact means. She understands it. But for the child's interest in this case, we would request an ROR bond, and she would abide by the no contact.
So pretrial, if I order her to have an ROR bond and pretrial release, will you all comply, or do I have to put a monetary bond?
You'll have to do a monetary bond for that charge. She does not qualify for direct. It's be monetary.
I understand she didn't qualify, but can't I order it?
She can order it, but she might have to go back to court the next day because she doesn't qualify for direct pretrial release.
Okay. Is DCF involved?
Not to my knowledge.
How'd the child get placed with his mom?
Via him.
So there's no court order doing that? There's no injunction, there's no court order, there's no other,
Not to my knowledge.
did he file a UCCJEA? No, okay.
Your Honor, one more time, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if I may, I think an ROR would be acceptable for this case. She has no priors. I don't think she wants to flee. I don't think she has any plans to do anything else. She's a young mother. This is a domestic issue, and I think that, that would be the most likelihood that she'd be able to get out on her own is with an ROR.
Well, if I put her on an ROR, who's going to supervise her? Who's going, because I'm going to order she have no direct or indirect contact with him or return to his place of employment, his place of business, his mother's house, then how am I going to deal with having the child interact with the mother where there is a restriction about the father having contact and the child's living with the father's mom?
If she was to violate that, if he has access to a cell phone, he could easily report that she's contacted him or she's came by the workplace. She should be able to speak through the third party directly, the mother or whoever has been designated as a third party. And as long as she doesn't violate that, she shouldn't have a problem. If she does, he could easily report it.
Dad, what did you want to tell me? She'll be the go-between? Okay, so she can come stay at your house? And you're agreeable to have the baby stay with the best friend? Okay, all right. All right, court will release her ROR not on pretrial release. With as a condition of the pretrial, of the ROR, is she's not to have direct or indirect contact with the father of the baby, except for the exchange of the baby through a mutual friend and for purposes of nursing. But do not go back to the hookah lounge. Do not go to where he lives, where the father of the child lives. Follow me? Do you understand me? If you violate this court order, you'll be sitting in the jail whether you're nursing or not. Okay?
And Your Honor, may she have a one-time return with law enforcement to get her belongings?
No. You give her belongings to the mutual friend. Okay? Okay? So you know what her belongings are. Gather them up. Don't trash them. Give them to the friend. And she's going to be living with the friend, right? Okay. No, you're welcome. All right, so the public defender is appointed. State, is there anything else you wanted me to order as a condition of the ROR? And I'll say that's over the strenuous objection of the state.
No weapons or firearms.
You're not to have any weapons or firearms. All right, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Then we have Troy Harrington.
Case 22 CF 2148.
Mr. Harrington, you've been arrested not find probable cause on domestic violence. I have a note here indicating that the victim does not want contact and not to return to the home. Sir, are you employed?
Yes.
And is that here in Kissimmee?
Yes, I drive for Uber and DoorDash.
I didn't quite catch it. You
I drive for Uber and also DoorDash.
Okay. And do you have a place to live that's not located at 1100 Normandy Drive, Unit A?
Yes, it'll be with a friend.
Okay. State, what kind of, I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office. What kind of bond do you want, State?
Your Honor, I would defer to the court, but emphasize the seriousness of these allegations.
Was he charged with a misdemeanor or a felony?
Felony, Your Honor, he's charged with third-degree domestic battery by strangulation.
Okay.
And it's also a third-degree felony for the hindering communication with
Okay.
law enforcement.
Do you show any priors?
One moment, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he's showing no Florida priors. He only has one arrest out of New York back in 2000 for false report incident.
That's what I show as well.
Okay. So, what, you're driving Uber? Okay. I'm gonna issue a set bond on count one in the amount of, let me ask you this, on a bondsman, if I set two separate amounts, do they combine them together to give the figure? Do you know? Does anybody know?
Yes, Your Honor.
They do?
Yes, Your Honor.
So normally what I would do is put a bond of, say, $1,000 on count one and ROR on count two, so they wouldn't have to spend more than 100 to get bond out. Follow me?
Yes, Your Honor.
But if it makes more sense, I'll do 500 and 500. Anybody have any preference?
Not from the state.
I would say the 1,000 on one and then R. Ward on the other.
That's what I'll do, 1,000 on one, ROR on count two. As a condition of the bond and as a condition of the ROR, he's not to return to the scene, he's not to have direct or indirect contact with the victim. And that means no posting anything on social media regarding the alleged victim. Don't reach out either in person or digitally. That means don't show up, don't call, don't text, don't tweet, don't do anything like that towards the victim. Not to use or possess weapons. And obviously no illicit drugs, which would be a crime anyway. Public defenders appointed. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, I'm not sure
Sorry.
if I maybe missed it, or maybe this court does it for, unless it says otherwise, but PC was found.
I did. I said I found PC.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I thought it's, well, maybe I didn't. I found PC based on the allegations.
Your Honor.
I skipped right over it.
Again, the conditions are no contact with victim, do not return to scene of offense, and do not possess or own any weapons or firearms.
Yes, ma'am.
And you also said no drugs, correct?
Yeah, no illicit drugs. If he has pharmaceuticals that are prescribed, he can take them, but no illicit drugs, which would be a crime anyway, hopefully.
Your Honor,
Yes.
what about a one-time return with law enforcement? Or is that something that you normally don't?
No, I will do that. Does he have tools that he uses that are there?
Yes, Your Honor.
So he can retrieve his toiletries, his clothing, and any tools, but you can't take pots and pans or try to split assets, okay? All right, thank you. So Isabella Hutchins, is that how you say that, you think? Hutchins?
Case number 22 CF 2149.
She's in the cage, Your Honor. She's approaching.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, I just wanted to say in reference to Isabella, mental health at the jail is requesting ROR because she has a Baker at home in place, and it would like for her to get the mental health treatment that she needs.
Is she in any kind of supervision right now? Probation or?
No, Your Honor, she has no priors in the circuit.
I'm not showing any prior arrests at all, Your Honor.
And I did confirm with Social Services, Your Honor, that she would be taken from here directly to Park Place.
Okay, so I'll find probable cause, I'll release her ROR, mental health ROR. Is that what I call it?
I think it's just RR, and she has a Baker at home in place, so
So they'll process it that way? Okay, so I'll appoint the public defenders.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next one is Jordan Medina.
Case number 22 MM1674.
Mr. Medina, you've been arrested. It looks like it's a warrant. I believe it's a warrant from here in Osceola, correct?
I don't have a warrant.
Okay. So 2022 CF 1253, petty theft, first offense, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of cocaine, and possession with intent to sell or deliver. That's not a warrant?
That's the case he's currently out on ROR.
Oh, see, I don't know how to read these forms. Okay. So I'm going to revoke your ROR, sir. You got a new arrest. So the new arrest is possession of drug paraphernalia, right? An M1. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. Give you a $1,000 bond on this one. Actually, I'll just leave the bond in place, it's $500. But I am revoking the bond on the new law offense of, is it? I can't. It's 2022 CF 1253. All right, public defender is appointed. Good luck.
Your Honor, if I may, you're keeping the bond on this offense here, and you're revoking it on the 22 CF 1253, the prior
Yep.
offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks.
Your Honor, are we setting it at 0?
Oh, yes.
The ROR?
Yes, the one that he's out on the ROR that I just revoked, the 2022 CF 1253. Yeah.
And
Yes.
future court date on demand.
Thank you.
And the court found PC.
I did. That's on the new law offense. And then I revoked the bond on the old one. All right, then I've got James Pierce.
Case 22 MM 1675.
Is this a pliable?
James, Chris, I do have a PC argument for this one, Your Honor.
Okay, let me take a look at it real quick. Well, it says he's on the property, and it says that they told him he'd been trespassed before. They, being the people of the property, told law enforcement that he'd been trespassed. And it seems like what they're charging him here is trespass. Should be after warning, I would think. What's your PC argument?
My PC argument is that he was previously trespassed on May 12, 2021, and the trespass normally lasts for 1 year, so it would have expired May 12, 2022, and then he was not then trespassed again. It would have to be a new trespass from the owner. It says that he went onto the property to escape the rain, he's homeless, but that no one called and complained, no one told him to leave the property, he wasn't given a chance to be told to leave and then refused.
State, is there a 1-year limit on trespass? I don't know.
Your Honor, not to my knowledge.
I'm not aware of a time limitation on trespass after warning.
I'm not.
But I'm happy to look at the statute. Does anybody have a copy of the statutes? I don't have a copy of the statutes. Maybe I can Google them. State, you have a copy of the statute, 810.092A? I don't think I even have access to Google here. Excellent. Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, see if I can find it. Say again? 810.09? 90. Well, 08 says, do you see a time frame in there anywhere?
Your Honor, I'm looking at 810.09, 1A1, which just says, notice against entering is given by actual communication. And so in this case, based on the affidavit, when the officer looked this up, he found a trespass.
I've never been aware of a time frame. Now, I hadn't done a lot of misdemeanors ever. The only time frame I'm ever aware of is a lot of times the issue injunction. There might be a time frame in that, but I don't remember anything about a trespass being time sensitive.
Yes, Your Honor, trespass isn't forever. They do expire.
Really?
I don't see it in.
If you can tell me where it says it in the statute that it expires, I'm happy to read it, but I don't see
The
it.
statute doesn't give a time frame at all. So technically, it could be a day or it could be 1,000 days, but in Kissimmee, in Osceola County, it's for 1 year.
What do you mean in Kissimmee and Osceola County? Is that a county ordinance?
Yes, so like Orange County, each county has a time frame on
I'm not,
trespass.
well, I'm real happy to look that up if you can tell me where.
I don't have the exact ordinance in front of me, Your Honor. I only have the Florida statute.
Okay, well, I'll find probable cause over your strenuous objection. Let's talk about bond. Right now, it's $150 each. State, is this something that's pleable? If he's homeless, does he want to make an offer? You don't have to, but I'm suggesting you might want to.
So with all candor to the court, I'm new to this jurisdiction. So this is my second IAs. So if that's the custom, I think a time served sentence would be appropriate. And if that's something that these types of offenses are pled at IAs, typically, I would not have a problem making that offer this morning of time served.
Okay. So I'm an oldie moldy judge. We didn't used to have Marcy's Law, where you have to worry about what the victim would do. Do you have any indication that your victim wants to be consulted before you make any offer?
Not based on the PC, Your Honor. This is a business location.
So the court's going to offer time served if you want to enter a plea right now. Fees and costs will be imposed, and I'll reduce those to judgment for which let execution issue and tell you not to go back in there, even if it's raining. If he wants to accept the offer, that's fine. If not, I'm going to just leave the bond at 150 on each count. No, it's 150, sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Your Honor. My apologies. He wants to accept the offer. I just spoke to him about it.
Okay.
I filled out the plea form. I just need him to sign it.
Okay. So, Mr. Pierce, if you'll sign that right there, I'm going to swear you in here in just a minute. Do you guys need this back? No. I can throw that away, right?
No conditions?
I'm going to reduce his fees and costs to judgment for which let execution issue. I'm just telling him he's not to return to the place. They've already trespassed him, so I would not even put that in the minutes. This is an M2, right? Mr. State Attorney, it's an M2?
No, Your Honor, it's an M1.
M1, okay. Okay, Mr. P, yes.
I was just gonna say, I went over the plea form with him, asked him if he had any questions, and he said he did not.
Mr. Pierce, if you'll raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth?
Yes.
Okay, are you James Pierce?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Do you understand that you're entering a plea of no contest to the charge of trespass after being warned and/or being trespassed on the property? Understand that?
Yes.
That's a one-year misdemeanor, means the maximum sentence you could receive is a year in the county jail. Court's going to give you credit for time served. I'm going to take the fees and cost and reduce them to judgment for which let execution issue, which means unless you own property and they try to lien the property, they're not going to be looking at you to collect that money. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you're not a citizen, this plea alone would result in you being deported. Are you under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or medicines?
Yes.
Are you thinking clearly?
Yes.
Do you know what you're doing?
Yes.
Is anybody forcing you or threatening you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Do you understand you can't go back to wherever this happened,
Yes.
even if it's raining?
Yes.
Okay, I'll find a free and voluntary plea. I'll accept the plea based on the allegations contained in the affidavit, arrest, and booking report. I'll find a factual basis to anything else from anybody.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to credit for time served, fees and costs are imposed, reducing to judgment for which let execution issue. If you would like to appeal, Mr. Pierce, you may do so by filing a written notice within 30 days of today's date. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Rayanne Yarwood.
Case 22 MM 1676.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, on that one, the plea we just gave, can the clerk give me the case number?
Yes.
2022 MM 1675.
Did you get that?
22 MM 1675?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. And now we have Ms. Yarwood. We're on the record in 2022 MM 1676. Ma'am, you've been charged, and I'll find probable cause on battery. Did anybody talk with Mr. Wolf, the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, he's not present.
Does this appears to be domestic violence, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, based on the statements in the PC affidavit. However, I don't see that it was charged that way. I will note that the victim has a pending case against this defendant, so the roles have now flipped, and there was a no contact order already in place.
Okay, so John, what was his name? John Wolf is the defendant where this person is the victim?
Yes, Your Honor,
Okay.
for the court.
And is Mr. Wolf out on ROR?
He is out on I believe a bond,
Okay,
a $2,500 bond based on my records. And this PC affidavit indicates the officer referred this matter to the state attorney's office, or they wrote affidavits of prosecution summary on Wolf for that violation and forwarded it to the state attorney's office. I've notified my colleague, but I just wanted the court to have that information in making its determination.
thanks. Mr. Wolf or this lady are not on any kind of pretrial release, are they?
She qualifies for bond with pretrial release on this charge.
Okay, and what was his bond, 2,500?
His bond was
All right,
$2,500.
I'm going to put her bond in 1,500, 1,500 plus pretrial release. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim. It does not look like you live in the same location because it says your permanent address is on Caliga Drive, and it looks like this allegedly occurred on Scotty Road. So Ms. Yarwood, you've got another place to stay, I assume? Is that a good assumption?
Are they muted?
I don't know.
We can't hear anything. Is the mic muted?
I'm I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, the mic was muted. My apologies.
Oh, that's okay. Does she have some other place to live other than where he resides?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, what did you want to tell me?
I believe the address provided of 1550 Scotty Road is, I believe it's a business. It's called Richardson Fish Camp.
Okay.
That's what I perceived from the name.
Okay. So, Madam Public Defender, does your client have some place to live other than where this alleged victim is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so I'll stand by what I said. No direct or indirect contact with the victim, don't return to the scene, and you've got a lower bond than he had, but you've got pretrial release, which I presume is going to put more restrictions on you than just a straight cash bond, right?
Yes.
Okay. Keep in contact with the public defender, and you guys don't set another court date, right?
Future court date on demand.
Okay, so let me try calling our interpreter. Maybe we'll have some luck. Make sure I'm doing this right. Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Laura Bretaña, Spanish interpreter, previously sworn.
Excellent. All right, I'm on the record in 22 CT 2431, State of Florida versus Brian Peguero Osierra. Am I saying that right? Peguero Osierra. So, Mr. Osierra, if you please raise your right hand.
Your Honor, I'm still dialing to the podium.
Madam Interpreter, could you ask the defendant to please raise his right hand? Madam Interpreter, I am dealing with the jail. There is no podium.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was connected
That's
to the jail.
okay.
I have no visual. Señor, por favor, levante la mano derecha.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth?
¿Puede y promete decir la verdad?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down.
Gracias. Puede bajar la mano.
Sir, can you hear and understand our interpreter?
Señor, ¿usted puede escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Okay.
Yes.
So, sir, you've been arrested
Usted fue arrestado
for driving with license suspended or revoked.
por conducir con la licencia suspendida o revocada.
The bond is currently set at $500.
La fianza se fijó en $500.
He does not qualify for pretrial release?
No, he does not qualify for pretrial release due to a warrant out of state.
Okay.
¿Cumple con los requisitos para el programa de libertad provisional? No, no cumple con ellos porque tiene una orden de arresto de otro estado.
So apparently another state wants you on a warrant?
Señora, aparentemente hay otro estado que le está buscando a usted, hay una orden de arresto en su contra.
So if you pay the $500 to bond out, then the other state will grab you, we think.
Así que nosotros pensamos que si usted paga los $500 de la fianza, el otro estado ahí le retendrá.
Your Honor, the state has no extradition at this time due to COVID.
Su señoría, la fiscalía en estos momentos no tiene extradición debido al COVID.
Mr. State Attorney, what about a plea on this one?
Le pregunto entonces a la fiscalía, ¿qué creen ustedes acerca de un convenio declaratorio en este caso?
I would not be able to extend a plea. I don't have sufficient information about his driving history or his full criminal history.
Okay.
Su señoría, en estos momentos no podríamos hacerle una oferta porque no tengo la información suficiente de sus antecedentes penales y de su historial de conducción.
So I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office.
Muy bien, así que se designa la oficina del abogado de oficio.
Leave the bond as announced at $500.
La fianza permanece tal cual, $500.
And if and when they file charges, they'll bring you back to court.
Y si ellos en algún momento radican formalmente la acusación, le citarán nuevamente para que se presente ante su juzgado.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
Buena suerte.
I have future court dates.
Oh, excuse me, Madam Interpreter, hold on for a second. Yes,
Señor,
ma'am.
por favor, un momento.
If in jail, August 4th, 8:05 a.m., courtroom 5B.
Las próximas audiencias serán en las siguientes fechas. Si permanece aún en la cárcel, el 4 de agosto a las 8:05 de la mañana en la sala 5B.
If out of jail, August 12th, 9 a.m., courtroom 4A.
Y si ha salido de la cárcel, el 12 de agosto a las 9 de la mañana en la sala 4A.
Good luck. Thank you.
Buena suerte, señor. Gracias.
And I think that's it for us today, right? All right, thank you very much, Madam Interpreter. That's it for us today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks. Bye-bye.